Hello, dear Thầy, dear Sangha. This is part of a series of basic Buddhism presentations given at the Ottawa Pagoda Sangha on Wednesday evenings. This one is about the way of practice, and the entire presentation is based on the book written by Thầy, Transformation at the Base. By the way of practice, we should start with mindfulness. When we live in mindfulness, we are able to see the interdependent nature at the heart of things and transform our ignorance into insight. Delusion becomes enlightenment. We see that what we formerly perceived as samsara is really none other than nirvana, the realm of suchness. Mindfulness of the nature of interdependence is the key for this transformation to take place. The verses 39 and 40 of the book introduce us to the three natures. First of all, we have the nature of imaginary construction and discrimination, parikalpita, the nature of interdependence, paratantra, and the nature of fulfill of things as themselves, nibbana, which also called the nature of ultimate reality. Most of the time we are operating within the world of imaginary construction. We see things being born and dying, becoming and fading, one or many, coming and going, and in our mind we attribute these qualities to reality. But they are not reality itself. That is why they are called imaginary constructions. Reality takes on the shape it does because of our lack of understanding. If we are sad, we see the moon as sad. The sad self-nature of the moon is a construction of our own mind. We are imprisoned by the world of ignorance, birth and death, because we take this imaginary constructed world created by our mind as reality. The opposite of the world of imaginary construction is the fulfilled self-nature, the nature of things as they are. This is not a construction of our mind, nor it is subject to conceptualization. In the real of things in themselves, there is no birth, no death, no one, no many, no coming, no going, no existence, no non-existence. This is the ultimate dimension, the realm of suchness, nirvana. How do we leave the world of imaginary construction and enter nirvana? The way is through meditating on the nature of interdependence, which is also called the practice of paratantra. Paratantra is the process of learning and training ourselves to look deeply into the nature of interdependence. When we see the interdependent self-nature of things, we are no longer caught in notions of duality. We see that samsara and suchness are one, not two. With deluded mind, we only see samsara. But when our mind is purified and becomes true mind, samsara is transformed into suchness, nirvana. Whether the ground beneath our feet is heaven or hell depends entirely on our way of seeing and walking. Samsara and suchness have the same ground, the ground of our consciousness, which is also our mind. If we practice looking deeply into the nature of interdependence, the nature of interbeing of all things, that is Paratantra. Through this insight, we are able to transform delusion into illumination. Interdependence means that a thing can arise only in reliance on other things. A flower arises in dependence on the seed, the clouds, the rain, the soil, and the sun. All these things are other than the flower itself, but the flower depends on them for its own existence. This is the interdependent self-nature of a flower. Everything in the universe has this interdependent self-nature. Looking deeply and shining light on the interdependent self-nature of all that we perceive is the way to transform ignorance into awakened understanding. We shine light on the way things are by looking deeply at impermanence, non-self, and interbeing. The Sutra on the Dharma Seal teaches that when we are able to touch the impermanent and the non-self nature of phenomena, we can touch nirvana. Another way of understanding or describing nirvana is the nature of interbeing of all things, or interdependent co-arising. Impermanence and non-self belong to the phenomenal world, while nirvana belongs to the noumenal world. The three Dharma seals of impermanence, non-self, and nirvana are the keys to understanding the manifestation-only teachings. The first key is impermanence, and it is used to open the door of reality. Non-self, the second key, is used to open the door of reality concerning space. They are spoken of as different, but in truth they are one, because time and space are one. One cannot exist without the other. The third key, nirvana, is the fulfilled nature, the reality of no birth, no death, no coming, no going, no one, no many, no existing, no non-existing. This is the world of interdependent co-arising, where nothing exists as a separate, permanent entity. Impermanence and non-self go together with the nature of interbeing. To touch nirvana, to see the interdependent co-arising nature of reality, we have to touch impermanence and non-self. The nature of imaginary construction go together with our deluded belief in permanence and in a separately existing self. We see the world around us as permanent and consisting of separate self-existing entities. That is why when we begin the practice, we need to use the two keys of impermanence and non-self to shine light on the interdependent co-arising basis of all things. The way to practice is to light the lamp of mindfulness and live every moment in its light. Whatever we see, whatever we hear, or whatever we have contact with, we practice mindfulness and see the nature of interbeing in the object of our perception. Thank you for your listening.